Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dream Team. And hi, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Hi, everybody. Great to see you all and hear you all. Marie, how have you been going this week?
Yeah, good. I think we were just talking before we started, and there's certainly a lot of stuff shifting and going on. Definitely at a deeper level. We did an amazing gridding that we do with our transference healing, and the shift is palpable in everyone's consciousness. It's literally palpable. You can see the shift and the change, the maturity. So yeah, that was pretty amazing. So and Jasper wants to say hello too. So he's here with us. So now, Nick,
Hi,
tell us
Jennifer.
and tell us how you've been going and what happened for you. Hey, Dennis. Dennis is on. Yay.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. The energy's been, we've moved into a new phase again. And the thing is that each week I feel like I've learned something new, which just makes you realize you never stop learning. We just never stop. There's no end. And if I had a word to describe this week, it would be emerging.
Okay.
That was the only word that sort of really popped into my head about it. But yeah, hi everybody, great to see you. Hi Dennis, hi Marie, hi Trigel. Yeah, I thought last week when we had a discussion, because off camera we tend to talk about what we might do as a stimulus topic for the week, and we talked about how we can often get information about what, I guess it's not future predictions, but it's more about what do we need to know that help guide us a little bit further? Where can we take our next step from? And that's the one thing I mainly try and do with my dreams now, is I set that intention, because I just, it's like, I'll be honest, sometimes I go, well, what's happening next? Because that's just the nature of us as human beings. We always want to know what's coming. So I don't ask for that. I just ask for some guidance and a little bit of poking in the right direction, and I'll go and do the work. Just point me. Just point over there. And so last week we were talking about a lot of the dreams came up. I noticed there was a thread through it which to do with Egypt and the culture that's connected to that ancient era. So the dream I had set my intention for, which was to help guide me a little bit about what was coming up, was basically that I would have something come up again for this show. And that's why we decided we might lead with it today. So just bear with me. My dream was basically about Egyptian culture. And there was so much in it that it took me a good, almost up until yesterday, to keep decoding what was in it. And then I realized that was the whole point of the dream. The dream was to give me breadcrumbs that I could then go off and find out. So I just wanted to quickly talk about how I did that, because sometimes we have a dream and it might even just be a one sentence dream, but we know how much can be packed into that concept. And so I did the normal decode, and then as time went on, I didn't have some information about some of those things. So basically it was a dream where I watched two people painting their eyes with black coal. One started with the left side, that was the female, and then I saw the right, I think it's the right side, which was the male. And so I realized when I did it was exactly like the Eye of Horus or the Eye of Ra. And so I did a little bit of deep digging to do with that, and what did that actually mean? And because there was this balance connected to the two, they all have meanings within themselves, protection, spirituality, creativity. But it was really the balance of the two eyes, and it was to do with wisdom and learning. And then it morphed into me being in a classroom with a whiteboard where I was drawing a symbology on the board of what could look like the Eye of Horus. And I had two women watching me. One was a special guest, came in, drew on the board like a watercolor picture of blue, like more blobby-like, that was going to be a robe or something. And I turned around, saw the other lady in the corridor watching me, approving, nodding her head, smiling, came back, the painting was gone. The image was still up there, but she had started wiping her blue robe off the board, and she'd written a quote, and the quote was, and I couldn't remember it exactly, I thought I would have, where you think, or where you think something along those lines. And it made me really think about this is really what it's all about. And the main thing I wrote down there, and it's funny, I went through and I started thinking, what is that quote? So I was looking up that quote to see if I could come across it. And the closest thing I found was Confucius, who said, knowing about thinking is to be aware of the awareness itself.
Mm.
And then I thought, right, there's so much in this dream. I'm just going to keep following every little bit of it. And it's amazing that it, like I said, this new energy that's come in, it's starting, as much as we're trying to embody what we're doing here, it's opening up a whole new world again. Just when I thought I had I was starting to get an understanding of it all, it's just shifted me into a whole nother level. It's sort of like what you think you know, you don't know yet.
Exactly. And it is that awareness, because they say 90% of change is actually having an awareness about something. So whether it's a patterning, whether it's a whole new consciousness, or whether it's just something that's given to us through our loved ones that maybe aren't with us anymore, that are just dropping little hints and things through. So, yeah. So, well, that's beautiful. What a beautiful segue, sort of going from that. And I love how you actually saw you had someone there. It was almost like you had guides with you.
Yes.
Or a higher aspect of yourself actually in that dream, watching you and going, yep, this is good. So it's beautiful to know that we are guided, in that other realm, which is beautiful. So, wow. So thank you for sharing that. That's, really relevant to what we're doing and talking about today. So,
and I do encourage everyone, like I say, you may not have our fabulous book here, but to be honest, as I say many times, I don't go straight to this. I will sit often for a few days if I don't get anything, and just contemplate what I've written down, because we know ourselves more than anyone, and that's where we're getting our messages from and through. So don't doubt at all that whatever you say about what you're dreaming isn't exactly what it should be. And if it hasn't come out the right way, don't worry, you'll get guided back. So, those breadcrumbs really sent me off on all sorts of different little avenues, and it was fascinating. And I've learned so much, actually. I really have. Or I'm remembering what I already knew. And it's
I feel it's a remembering. Really do. It's a remembering. It's so. But we've got my friend Tanya on. Hello, gorgeous one. Lady Hawk. Who else? Kathleen's on. Thank you for your dreams, Kathleen. So, what might actually go and start with one of the dreams that you've sent in. And guys, if you've got any dreams or any synchronistic events that have been happening for you in life, it's amazing when you share them. It's amazing how much it can actually trigger others to remember what happened for them or bring something up for us. And this is the whole point of sharing. So we can all be completely and utterly crazy, what they would call crazy together. It's much more fun. So, all right. So this is Niobe's dream.
So hello, Niobe. Thank you for your dream. So daytime outside was a man walking to a gathering in a cave. Along the way, I find a few crystals on the ground. One pink halite, I was looking at this earlier in real life, and a smaller green crystal. I handed an extra piece to the guy. Once at the cave, I found another larger stone. Half of it was in the shape of an ancient human skull. It looked different than ours. Then I saw a crack behind us in the rocks, showing a scene of an underground ceremony involving ancient beings that were being kept there. We had the feeling we saw too much and needed to leave calmly but quickly. Went to retrieve our bicycles, but someone had stolen them, so we walked.
Yeah. Wow, I thought this was really interesting, and I didn't actually know what halite was, so I looked it up. And it's actually what they call rock salt. So it's a rock rather than a crystal. Yeah, apparently. So, but it dissolves in water. So it's really interesting, Niobe, that you were looking at that in real life. It obviously has got there's an aspect of that for you. And so salt is a preservative, as we know, as well as being used in food. So sorry about the truck. So, and the fact that it was pink. So we know pink is often about the heart. It's about love. So to me, this is maybe and a smaller green crystal. Again, green for me is healing and the heart, and they're both heart colors. So the other thing is the cave. So a cave. So what does a cave mean for you, Nick?
Well, sometimes it's going into the darkest, deepest depths of perhaps trying to dig something up. Once again, I always say, because I can put all different understandings onto this.
Yep.
You know, what would Niobe say about that cave? Because
Exactly.
as I was reading, I was visualizing before we even got, because I haven't read these before we even got down further, there was something not right about it. I had this visual of seeing there was something not right about it. It was like I could see the end of the cave. It was like this dead end. So, you know, not all caves are like that. So the feeling that I'm getting, what does the book say for you, Marie?
Yeah, so the book says, which is really interesting, the unconscious mind, exactly what you were saying, the unexplored parts of self. But great treasures lie within as you continue the adventure of self-discovery. And it was really interesting because I was getting that this is an aspect of you. I feel that you've had this lifetime. It's like you're being re-shown glimpses of something, especially because of that half skull. You know, and that's wisdom. That's real wisdom. And Jasper's laughing, going, "Oh, yes, it is." The fact that it was half a skull and it was from an ancient time. To me, this is ancient, and we're going almost, to me, back to an ancient memory of how things were, and on a consciousness level.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was just what the feeling was that came through for me. So yeah. So and then went to. So seeing something that you felt you'd seen too much and you needed to leave. So this could be something that's clearing for you from that particular experience of a lifetime as well. And the fact that you went to retrieve your bicycles, but they'd been stolen and you had to walk. So walking to me is still, you're on your path, you're still moving ahead. The bicycle to me just means there is a little bit more balance. So maybe there's something that's a little bit out of balance, but you're still moving ahead. So I feel that this is going to be a little healing for you at some level, another lifetime, and you've had a glimpse. So is there anything else you picked up, Nick? I'm going to just pull a couple of cards.
Oh, no, that's exactly how I was feeling. It's like we are tapping into some very deep, long-seated experiences that we've had in our lifetimes, and it's all coming up. And I think it feels like it could have been so long ago, yet here it is still, we're still carrying it around in our DNA, and that's lifting now. And yes, there's some work to be done, and definitely the bicycle is about balance. And because it was stolen, it means that it's been taken away from you. It's almost like that's the crutch. Face up and just start moving in the direction, because no matter where we go now, we are going to find that balance, because that dream is showing me that.
Yeah. And ancestral. There's been so much ancestral and lineage clearing. And for me, I've had the feeling that there's no such thing as time in reality. So this is all happening now, and we're given the opportunity in this lifetime that we're experiencing to actually clear that. So and the first card that came up was the moon. So this is about having something that's within our psyche that's out of place. It's almost like there's something that shouldn't be there. And the dogs are the masculine, and they're howling at this moon. So there's something coming up for you, which will help move it, because that Wheel of Fortune cards come up. Now, the Wheel of Fortune only comes up when there's balance and you're ready to move ahead. So it's time. This is just timing for you, you know. I'll just get another card for you. Okay, so Six of Pentacles. So you are being offered an opportunity to have the balance. See how you've got the scales there? So you are being offered something in real life. So don't be surprised if something pops up in real life for you to just notice and ponder to help you to shift this, or to recognize what this is for you. So I don't know. That's just what I'm getting. If anyone else wants to pop in on the chat and say, you know, that what they're getting intuitively, it's fantastic. We love different perspectives here. Okay, I love this. So Dennis has actually come up with something.
The cave is the only dark till you light it back up with yourself. The cave is only dark, tells you to light it back up with yourself. Yeah.
I love it. Beautiful. So
do you remember that? I can't remember. Was it Plato, the allegory of the cave? where people are sitting around and they're watching. Their reality became the flames on the wall or the shadows.
Okay, yeah. So it's almost like the shadow self. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because that's that.
Again, I just cut the cards again, and that came up again. So this is
Yeah.
something that you're going to be shown when the moon comes up. To me, it means there's going to be a situation that helps you to see that aspect of yourself. So don't be afraid of anything. Just go, okay. Yeah. So it's that darker side of the psyche.
Yeah. Mm.
Wow.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And Dennis has asked a good question here.
So there was something stolen, or did you leave something there and it's time to reclaim it? Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a really good point, you know.
Yeah, and what does it mean when something's stolen? Sometimes we've learnt, a long time ago, I can't remember when, but I heard this thing was just because somebody does something to you, if somebody steals something, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
And I never understood it initially. And then as over time, I started to understand what that really meant. So, straight away you think stolen, someone's done something bad, but actually it's done you a favor. It's done it for you.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And I got that. I was only I was about 28 or 29, and I was living in my place in Perth, and I'd been traveling. I'd been over to Ireland and all these places, and I had a whole jar full of all of this coinage that I'd got on my trip. And obviously young ones broke into my home, and that was all they took, was this big jar of coins. They probably didn't realize they were pretty useless, like, and worthless. But what I got from that was that was holding heaps of energy that was affecting me. And when it went, I went, oh, I feel so much lighter. So that was my gift, was that got taken from me without me knowing it had to go. So yeah. So that was, yeah, exactly.
There was definitely something stolen from them in that other alternate experience. But that's why the clearing is coming through now, which I guess that's what Dennis is talking about.
And also what I find is when we do a deep clearing like that, or we have a healing or something shifting or rebalancing, that's when I find our gifts and talents. So the things that we've mastered in that lifetime then will often come through after it. So that's just something I've noticed for myself. But yeah. So that's a great dream. And yeah, I feel, let us know, Niobe, if you actually do have something that actually gives you more clarity on this.
Yeah, definitely. And I would like to hear that of anyone's dreams. And like, particularly if you do follow the breadcrumbs and start doing a little bit more research. We've got so much information at our fingertips now. You will be guided to find the information you need. Yeah. And even movies can do that. Like, I've been directed to just watch certain movies, and I haven't been really doing any movie watching for a while. And these last few weeks, and so the movie that came to mind is Convergence. So you're talking about past lives, parallel lives. I don't believe we have, the time is represented linear as well. But in Convergence, it's a very simple concept of us being in one place, and at the same time, that same thing is being played down the road in another house, but differently through choices. And then more come up. Very, very obvious way of explaining to people that every choice leaves a trail. And I feel like that's what we're doing. We're cleaning up, we're pulling those back in to come to be into this unity consciousness for ourselves and for a collective as well.
That's true. So movie of the week, Convergence. And do you remember who was in that or not?
Nobody that I can recall.
No, it's like me, I don't remember names. So I thought,
no.
That's great. That's awesome. So I think I've seen it, but I must watch it again, because you're right. It's often timed so that the relevance of it is really important. So I love it. So so Lady Hawk's got a beautiful comment there.
Okay. Learning how much of our identity is wrapped up into what we own rather than the true qualities of self is a hard lesson. Very important lesson.
Yeah. Lady Hawk, and it can be a shocker. Like, you can get stuck, you're just left with nothing, and then you go, well, who am I, with being able to put my identity onto a job or onto a role or onto a property or onto anything. Like, who am I? And that can be really challenging. Yeah. And that's when our faith really comes in, I feel, is just still knowing that you're going to be looked after. It's just that we have to wipe away that aspect of ego because it doesn't serve us anymore. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's gone through that as well, you know, to have the courage to ask the question, well, who am I really? You know? So yeah, it's such a great comment.
Yeah. I'm not the things, you know, that I buy.
When we leave this suit, when we leave this beautiful avatar, or take it with us, whatever happens at the end of our day, what is our consciousness? Who are we within that? And you know, it's interesting because I think I've told you I have left my body while I was awake. And I remember just going, oh, I'm actually me. I'm just me. Oh. And it was such a surprise that I was taking me with me. It was like, so we can't run away from who we are.
No.
So it's the desire to be in our most joy, or in our most happiness, or in our most trust and faith. I feel that's what I got from that anyway. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So Dennis has mentioned
there are multiple paths we are traveling. We pick the ones that lead us to where we're going, but each can be right for the journey. Totally.
Everything's perfect. Yeah. And to me, I feel this is the gift of being human, is that free will, is that choice, having able to make a choice, even if we condone it as wrong, or we say, no, we shouldn't have done that. Oh, hindsight. Oh, what if we're creating something, you know, for us that we've never experienced before? And that was the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So, Dennis, you are hilarious.
Apologies, but Dennis is talking out loud again. Keep talking out loud, Dennis.
Talk away, Dennis. Okay. So, Nobi, thank you for that. That's really brought up a lot, I think, for a lot of people. And
I think so,
to share. I love to share. So, I mean, the only thing that I actually got from my dreams this week, because I haven't been sleeping a lot, and one dream I remember, I was in a shop and I went, oh my goodness, there's some needle and thread and a little sewing kit. I went, but I've already got one of those. I just have to remember where I've put it. So what I recognised is, to move forward, I need to be able to do a little bit of repair work. Stitching time saves 9. So I'm like, okay, I need to look at that, basically. So it was really interesting. So
Now there's a lot in that dream, and I think it's going to spark a lot of dare I say, shadow work in us.
Exactly. And shadow work is nothing to be afraid of. It's sometimes can feel uncomfortable, but it's as soon as we own it, it's almost like the fear dissipates.
Yeah.
So it's just going, okay, I'm going to own that. I'm not going to judge it. I'm simply going to own it without judgment. And I think that's the secret.
Because if you remember, while we're here to do that work. That's what this is. It's resolving all of that stuff now. So it's going to happen. It's just, I almost welcome it in now and I think, great, that's one less thing I have to worry about or do.
And, you know, it's like they say you get a feather to help wake you up to it. You get a brick, then you get the semi-trailer, and that's never failed. So, you know, it's have courage. So on that note, let's get to Kathleen's dream. Now, I wanted to read a little bit that Kathleen sent in on this email beforehand, just to give us a little bit, because Kathleen, I know she's had quite a few dreams around her grandma's house. So let me just okay, so she said it was another 2 dreams of my grandma's house. That was her dad's mum, and we weren't close to her because she had hated my mum. She was jealous of her taking her only child away, type of thing. But they had a truce because of us kids. So we did see her on holidays and other occasions, and she lived about a mile from us. She was kind of mean and scary to us as kids. I moved into her house after she died, and I had just got married and lived there for 7 years. This is the 4th or 5th dream about her house, and I don't remember any other dreams lately. This was 2 weeks ago. So the first one was under, that's the backdrop. So.
Okay, thanks, Kathleen. Dark number 1 dream. Dark night, my dad wants me to stay at his mum's house while she's in hospital. While he or she's in hospital?
While his mum's in hospital.
Right. It will be a long time. He and my sister leave, and I'm looking at dark street, feeling like someone was there to harm me. inside, a man was in there working. My grandma hired him to
Do repairs.
do repairs, and he was waiting for her to say what was next. I started giving him instructions. She had 2 rectangular dining tables, and we pulled back plastic tablecloth to see what kind of quality it was. It was oak, but the cloth was hiding a phone number written on the table with a Sharpie my grandpa had put there from, I love these messages, from the taxi place. He used to fix their meters, was a machinist. I said I wanted to put a round table here under the window so we could start moving them and discuss painting. I wanted a soft white. Then Grandma FaceTimed him and he went back to doing it her way. She wanted mint green instead, which I felt was too cold a colour. We started patching the wall that had big holes in the plaster. Hay and newspaper falling out. I asked, how do we fix that? He said, I don't know. Let's see what we're dealing with. And I woke up.
Wow. Again, I feel this is real lineage and clearing and healing, family, within. And, Kathleen, it seems like you're a little bit of a linchpin for your family, like a bit of a centrifuge for this family. Which, this, and your dreams, you always have very pertinent dreams as well. So well, yeah. So Nick, do you want to start with even what the house is about, like being the grandma's house that wasn't very well liked?
Well, obviously, a house is our vessel. It's it's the place where we reside. So we're residing in our own bodies and beings. Can I just say also, you said about this is like 4th dream, or so this is coming up again and again and again. So either it's there's so many fragments to what needs to be perhaps mended in this situation. That I would be looking at. So, you're getting, I've got to say at the beginning, when you get that fear that comes in, someone's going to hurt me, whatever, it's like, that's the first message that I get. Like, what does this mean? What is this? Is this something I need to let go of? Have I had a fear of something myself that no longer matters, that I'm letting it stay with me? Is it time to release that? And then we move on. And even the house that needs repairs, the whole house itself is falling down and you're trying to fix it, but people are coming in and trying to change what you're trying to fix. So I think there's been, like Marie said, there's lots of parties involved here that have been, coming in. And I do feel our ancestors are saying, can you help me heal this? Can you help me heal that? I didn't get a chance to do it while I was there. That's what I'm feeling about this dream overall.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and it's the fact that there was 2 rectangular tables, but you wanted a round one. So for me, that's really, that round to me is really nurturing. It's really healing. It's allowing everyone to be close to each other and see each other. But the oak, which is grounding, so the oak is your wood, then the phone number. Now, whenever there's a phone or a phone number involved in a dream, to me, this is a message, definitely a message from spirit for you. And the fact your grandpa had written it with the Sharpie, he's also involved in this. He's leaving you a message. Man, you're getting some messages from this one, I tell you.
I'd be interested to know the relationship with the grandfather in real life. I'm not getting anything like the same with the grandmother. No. And that's he's doing it a different way. Yes.
I feel like there's a bit of soul nurturing there. I don't know, but we'd love to know about that one, Kathleen. So you can drop that in.
Because he's trying to bring the balance back too. And he's doing it in a different way that she might understand without emotions.
Exactly. And the fact that you wanted a soft white colour, I mean, that's purity, that's gentleness, that's love, that's bringing it together. But the fact then that FaceTime. So again, this is from spirit. So grandma's come back in and wanted mint green, but let's look at what mint green means. So to me, the mint green is a very spiritual color. Again, it's very heart and it's very healing. So maybe first up, there has to be some healing of the heart. Like there might be a trauma in there that needs to be released before that beautiful white can come through. So yeah, I don't know. That's just what's come to me. Nick, anything?
Yeah, I just have a little pillow that I put behind my back today, and of course it's that lovely
mint green. course it is.
I know. Well, I had a dream about mint green not that long ago as well, actually. I can't remember how it was in relationship to, but yeah, there was something. It felt like there was this softness that needs to come over everything. It's like we've experienced all this hardness and pain and suffering. Let's soften it. Let's go into the heart and be kind about it to ourselves. And so as soon as I saw that mint green come up, I thought, well, that's the softness trying to come out to say, you know, we don't have to be like this anymore. And the circle of the table is about unity. We're all equal. There's no one in front, there's no one behind, there's no one above, there's no one below. So we're dropping away all these preconceived ideas that we've had as family.
Yeah.
And it's funny, family's meant to be about love, you know, and cherishing. We're all one big family anyway. So, yeah, actually, now that this dream has come out into this forum, I would say that this has probably been a really big release for you, because it's all right when you put something on paper and you write it out. You're really allowing it to pass through you. And that's what I think our ancestors are doing now. They're asking us to help them with resolving their stuff as well. You know?
And if you have a look at Kathleen's comment there, do you want to read that one out for us?
Oh, where is it? Okay, interesting. I was wondering what the rectangles were about. Yes, we love them. He was so nice to us. Oh, yes. Yeah, I got that too. Yeah. I didn't want to say it because I don't want to push ideas onto people, but yeah, I got that feeling too.
He was the heart. He was the heart and soul. He was the kind one. But, you know, there would have been a soul contract between grandma and the daughter, you know, your mum and everyone. There was a soul contract, and sometimes the baddies are the ones that love us the most, which is so hard to get our heads around. You know, when we think on a soul level, they're the ones that say, all right, I'll do this for you. I can understand why you want to experience this, and it's going to be really hard, but I will do it because I love you so much. So, you know, it's really for us to be able to flick our minds to that. Yeah. So I'm just going to see if the actual shape of rectangle is in here, but I feel it's the corners. So,
I've actually added to myself a little section at the back of my book.
Yep.
I've written my own. And what I've written about rectangle can mould into doors or houses. In other words, it's also could be representative of a structure of a house or a doorway to somewhere. Honesty, solidity, and stability.
Okay. So, yeah, that's really interesting.
The morphing. So
whatever resonates with Kathleen too. So, Kathleen, whatever a rectangle means for you, I mean, you can have more people on a rectangular than probably a square in a way. So, it just depends on what you see it.
Yeah. And you're just smoothing the corners now. You know, you don't have to relive their whole life and their experiences. All we're doing is just the work we do for ourselves in this lifetime is there's a bit of unfinished business in there. So we're just smoothing the corners and turning it into that round table.
Yeah. And the fact that there was hay in newspaper, so newspaper can be used from a long time ago if it was an old newspaper. And hay, it's all grounding stuff as well. Yeah, but also, being able to look back and see what was in the news, what was happening in the family at that time. So that's something that's come out. So that's I think this is a really big dream for you. So which is beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. And it's really interesting, these repetitive dreams. I think it's so important that we can break it down. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for you on this one, Kathleen, as well. Man, I'm just seeing you as this centrifuge to helping heal. Look at that, 6 of Wands. To me, this is victory. It's like that, you know, you are holding this beautiful space for your family. And, you know, I feel that your soul has the ability to do that. But it's been a hard journey because that 9 of Wands has come up. You know, it's been tough. You've had your tough times with it all. Because I really feel you're very kind-hearted. And that 9... love the 9 of Pentacles, unique with abundance and joy and love. So the gold. So that's what I feel your role is with this. And open to it. So So I'll go down to one of the live dreams now. I'll just pop this up though.
That's funny because there were 2 rectangle tables next to each other and not real life. But yes, the circle makes more sense that I'm trying to unite 2 families.
Yeah, centrifuge. That's how I see you.
Yeah.
So, and that's beautiful. But the hardest thing is you've got to allow everyone to do it at their own pace. And that's when you just got to sometimes just hold that space for them to be able to move in. So yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so let's go back to our live dreams, and then we'll go back because Kathleen's given us another one. Yeah. Okay, so Lady Hawk, let's have a look at your dream.
Okay, Lady Hawk. People said, let's do it together. I watched them giggling in a corner saying together, ha ha, to get her. I saw they wanted to tie me up with a huge rope. I laughed and walked away.
Wow.
I'm taking this as a warning to watch.
Just to watch, I think. To actually just watch.
I love that. I know there's a strong connection on this show and what we do. I had a giggling dream. Exactly, very simple. And I wrote it here. Also had a giggling dream out loud. Something to do with a really short sentence. And there was like a name and then a sentence and then a name. And it was to do with the comedic connection with those words. Really simple. It was really simple like that. And I was just giggling away at it. And I didn't really even do a decode of it because I woke myself up laughing. It was so funny.
Oh, that's a great way to wake up. So, yeah, words are amazing. And when you do break them up like that, to get her or together, like, you know, is it a choice? Is it a choice as well?
Yeah.
So the fact that you were just, you're taking it as a warning. Okay, what I'm getting for you intuitively, Lady Hawk, tell me if this resonates. It's actually your choice. You can choose whether you want to work in a group or you want to work with others, or whether you actually want to just do things on your own, and there's no right or wrong. But I think, okay, are you a little bit worried that if you do want to do things as an individual that you might get seen as an outsider? So this is really interesting. So I don't know. I'd love to know, Lady Hawk, what your take on that is. Like, where are you within yourself on that? I'm just going to pull a card for you on this one as well. The Star. The Star is all about being connected to your higher self, to your knowing wisdom, but you get to make a choice which way you go. That's what the Star always has meant to me, and it's often an emotional choice. So I would actually sit with this one. I would sit and ask whether you just sit and contemplate and find out for yourself, because the King of Cups has come up. And this is someone that works with emotion. He's a master of emotions, but there's often a little bit hidden under his cape, under his cloak. So I feel there's something there that could come up for you that will actually, you could get a little bit of enlightenment with. So, and another emotional card came up, the Six of Cups. Again, we're talking about emotions, but it's actually been given to you. You're being offered something from like a tribe or from a village. But it's your choice. She's either looking at the cup with the beautiful flowers in it, or she's looking down here. Again, this is a choice, and there's no right or wrong. But just know why you're making the choice is probably what I'm getting from it. So, Nick, anything to add to that?
No, I'd love to. I feel this one's going to come back a few times to make sense. I'd love to know if there's any more information you can shed on this in time.
Yeah. So, Lady Hawk's put that up.
I'm waiting and watching. Lots of people trying to take advantage of people.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. So, so that's smart. So, just trust your intuition then on this one, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. It was actually something to do.
Well, Dennis, the tornadoes that went through the central USA, that was me. Lots of people trying to take advantage of us. Ah.
Interesting. So you're having to almost stand your ground, trust your intuition. Wow. Yeah, I heard it was pretty big over there. So yeah, wow. But yeah, so look, I think intuition's a big one on this, and you just making the choice and just trusting it. So yeah, wow. And that's something that's happening in real life for you. You know, again, this is giving you some insight into what's right for you in your making your decisions. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look now. What else have we got here? Ooh. And Kathleen said that was the colour, Nick. That was actually the colour of that cushion.
Of course it was.
Of course it was. I did things in halves here. That's funny. And Maple Tree. Hi, Maple Tree.
Hi, Maple Tree. I had today a dream. I was in one of the hell realms. It was like a dystopian future. Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of self-explanatory, isn't it, in itself? It's just an experience. So, you know, of something, and it can be an aspect within us as well that, you know, maybe is out of balance, or it could be experiencing something that's been a possibility.
Yes.
So I think, Tree, you're the one that would know about that one.
And also deciding this is not what I want in my reality.
Thank you.
I know you're showing me something, but that's not what I want in my reality.
I love it. And, you know, I'm going to actually, the 3 cards that came up for you, the first one is the 4 of Wands. This is about building a beautiful place where you feel safe, where you feel loved and nurtured, and it's everything you've dreamed of. And the second one is the Ace of Pentacles. So exactly that. This is reality. So this is you wanting the best reality. So it's like focusing on that as well. And then the Death, which is transitioning to that. So these are perfect cards. So you can choose what you want to experience in your reality. So yeah, we all have a choice, don't we? And sometimes it's easier to go, oh, I can't be bothered, I just want to stay here. I mean, we all do it. I know I do it. It's like, oh, do I have to? But
if it starts from here, we don't have to really worry what happens, how it's going to unfold, because if it starts from here, it's exactly what we really want. So,
and Maple Tree, because you've said I don't feel safe here and there all the same. This is where we can make a choice to have that beautiful 4 of Wands, which is a safe haven. We can choose to make something safe, whatever it takes to drop inside, or to ask for help from divine, or from, you know, the angels, whatever works for you, Maple Tree. So because it's not nice to not feel safe. So
and each and every opportunity, everything is a choice we can make right here and now. Everything, right at this very point in time, I can say, no, you know what? If I don't feel safe here and I don't feel safe over there, I want something that makes me feel safe right here now. And it might take a while to ripple out, come back, or whatever, but it's about having that faith in knowing that once you set that intention, it's got to happen. You know, so I wouldn't be giving that place any attention anymore. I would just be focusing on, I'm going to create this beautiful, safe place for me.
And the other one is, I am grateful for my safe space. So as if you've already got it, because that is what creates it. So and like I said, ask for help. Bring up your beautiful dragon. Feel safe with your, you know, I did this amazing meditation on I think it was Friday night with these American Indian family, and we actually got to tap into our earth animal. And I was really surprised because mine was a moose, and I actually could feel it and see it, and it was eating grass. I was the moose. I had the most massive antlers, and you know, when I got a little bit of information about it, I went, oh, this makes sense. So I'm tapping into that more, and it does feel really safe having that beautiful moose energy around me. So I remember I was beside with it when I was in Canada, and we had these. We were out in the wild, and there was these moose, and it was just, they're so majestic. So that was really interesting. So maybe tap into your earth animal, Maple Tree. Find to help, have that energy to help you, the magic to help you. So so we'll go back to, since no one else has put any more up, but still pop them up, guys, if you want us to go through anything with you. We'll go to Kathleen's second dream.
Okay, number 2. A girls' bus trip with the sister and other woman. Mum and Dad came up, and I was telling everyone the story of their relationship, and my grandma, Dad's mum, how he was an only child and she was religious, how he met my mum, and when we went to introduce her to his mum, my grandmother's first words were, oh, "Are you pregnant?" And then when they got married, she stood up in the middle of the ceremony and said, "This is the damnedest wedding I've ever been to," and stormed out. That all really did happen in real life. Whoa. A woman on bus interrupted me and asked her seatmate who she was calling. So I stopped with the bad stories. We were driving on the street towards my grandmother's house. Then my sister and I were visiting mum in hospital. We got off the bus and I was looking for a bathroom. They were all locked up. There were lots of people walking around. Saw my older brother holding a baby with a woman I didn't know. His best friend, Ben, that I've known since I was 9 years old, was there with him. I wanted to call my dad and see if there was any questions I needed to ask the doctors. My brother handed me his phone. It was a model from 2001. My mum died in hospital in 2001. I asked him what dad's number was, and he gave me an 800 number and gave me like 20 numbers. I was getting confused and some keys were stuck. Ben grabbed the phone to help, and I was really annoyed with him. We were almost fighting and then woke up. Yeah.
There's more healing going on here, isn't there? And this is another message dream. This is what I'm getting for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because the bus is a big potential for growth and for movement as well, and having the feminine in there, the women, girls trip. So, so it's interesting. What else are you getting with this, Nick?
Oh, there's some, it's very much related to the first one. The thread is the same. They're just giving you more details now in this one. It's just like, it's almost like, I don't think you got it in the first one, so we're going to give you another one that might be a little bit stronger, that might give you a bit more of a breakdown. And it was very clear in this case, because now we're hearing Grandma actually state some words that are particularly nice. And, that makes us feel a certain way. So I would say that, like, don't look at it as yourself. Look at it as it's for that person. It's that person, whoever that is, that needs healing. Like even though we're all connected and it is us, our dreams are about us, but can you dissociate yourself from that emotion that you have that is not tied to you? It's just like Marie said, we all have contracts and we all do things to each other and play a role because it helps us to experience something that we haven't experienced before. So then we can learn from it. So perhaps not to do that again. It's like, really pushing the boundary. And there's a lot of boundary pushing going on in this one as well.
With Ben and taking the phone. But remember, again, you've got a phone message. This is a message from spirit. This is a message from loved ones. And it's things are going to change because the card that came up for you is the Tower. So this creates some change. I love the Tower card. It means patterns are going to change. I feel there's going to be healing on an emotional level for this whole soul family. Because again, what came up for you was the Nine of Wands. That's the second time. It's been a big journey for all of you, but it's almost like it's time. Yeah, look at this. Ten of Swords, completion, finishing, death of something. And it's, your mum's death was in there as well. And, that year. So this is definitely big changes coming through. Thing is, it can be quite quick because we've got our Eight of Wands. So I feel if you choose, have the intention, yes, I'm ready to actually have compassion, to have love, to have this shift happen and fully embrace it. I really think this will shift very quickly for you and it will help your whole lineage.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's what I'm getting, because that's another big dream. So
and those numbers
energy coming through as well as I'm saying this. So I really feel that there's something coming through for you. And even if people are watching this afterwards, you will still get the energy that comes through. If something triggers you or something activates you, you might feel energy coming through because we're actually at this consciousness level between us all that is really holding that beautiful space. So which is lovely. So this is why it's so beautiful to share dreams. They can help us with healing, on any sort of level. So,
and I'm seeing the number 2 a lot there. It's the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And when we have conflict with people, we're overriding each other. We're trying to control one over another, and that feeling that's coming through in this dream, especially with the brother over you and the person on the bus and then the grandmother, and there's all this energy, and it's like the twos are sort of saying that's your little message to yourself, saying that this is about restoring the balance back. And even if you add the 2 and the 1 with 2001, that's unity, the Trinity concept, and the 8. You turn it on its side, that's the infinity, the consciousness of it all. So there's subtle messages just constantly coming through in these dreams that sometimes you don't even understand, but they are there. They're here to heal us, definitely.
And it's beautiful because, Kathleen, I love that you said you're wonderful. Thank you. I am getting that too. They want me to do some meditation healing on all this anger they had. Yeah. So, which is beautiful, releasing that, because what does anger come from? Usually fear, Grandma was afraid of losing her only child, then that just runs through the whole family, all of the stuff that happens. So, yeah, and Dennis has popped something up there too. Do you want to read that one?
All the numbers are from others. You're trying to have another's past help you. Only you know the correct number that will help you, except you know and heal what you need to, from, and for yourself. Yeah,
totally. Exactly. It's always within us as well. Yeah. So I find for me having a different perspective on something, like I still and that's beautiful, Dennis. I still ring Zan, and I just go, all right, okay, I've had this dream, or she'll ring me, and we still talk through our dreams together. I don't think that'll ever stop. We'll be 105 still talking through our dreams together. So it's just that other perspective. It can make me look at something and go, whoa, I wouldn't have thought of it like that. And she'll go, oh, my intuition on this is, and I'll go, yeah, thank you, I'm going to look at that deeper. So it's right. So Kathleen, so Kathy, sorry, there we go. So so I feel that Kathleen, I feel that you are on track, and you are I just see you holding this beautiful space with light, and such a gentle heart. So yeah, good job, girl.
Yeah, exactly. And can I just say thank you to Marie as well? We had a chat before the dream show last week, and I did go to one of my dream buddies as well and talk to them about it. It was one that was bugging me for a little while, and Marie just nailed it. She said it's something to do with your father, but she gave me some really good advice, and I haven't spoken to her since. But I put my father sitting next to me on a bench, and I called him in, and I said to him, what you did at that time when I was just a child, I think major, but it was just the way you get yelled at. I said it was not acceptable, and I really stood up to that. And I said, now that, and also I also love you. I understand that you had to do that, but he needed that. He needed that healing to come through to me, because I've had 2 other dreams that have been very emasculated with a bit of anger that needed resolving, and it's coming through. And I thought, well, that's what it is. And we're just trailing off now. We're just finishing those final little bits of that. So I'm getting that same feeling with those dreams to do with, the relatives.
With Kathleen's dreams. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how that can happen?
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and sit down on a bench with them. I've done that with my grandfather, who's beautiful, just a beautiful soul, and just to be able to sit and talk can be something you can sit and do.
I even make a physical cup of tea.
Yeah.
I sit there and I make a cup of tea like my mum or whatever, if I'm feeling I really want to have that connection. Actually make a cup of tea for them or whatever it is. So, all right. Do you want to read out Kathy's dream?
Yeah. Hi, Kathy. So driving towards a traffic light, the light was yellow. I accelerated to beat the red light. I ran the red light, heard alarms, flashing lights, then angry, sad fear of a huge traffic ticket.
Oh, I know, right? Okay. Traffic lights, what do? They control when we go, when we stop, how really, judging a time to go, a time to not go, not move. So yes, Kathy, I'd love to know what you actually got from this as well. And I'm always like, okay, I don't want to get a traffic fine. I mean, I drive carefully anyway, but it's like, just be extra double careful. I know this is a red light camera, So yeah. So Oh, goodness me. What's going on in your life, Miss Kathy?
Oh, if it's not hard enough to have this in real life and you're having it in your dream, and can I just say also that, red as an energy color, it's high energy. It actually means, to me, red means movement and going. Now, I know we get presented imagery in our dreams that we can understand, so it might be just that. If red means stop, slow down. But that red light is like high energy coming through. And the green is again, it's about calmness, and slowing down. So, like I said, anything, you can interpret this any way, and I'm sure every single person who's watching this will have their own interpretation of it. What matters is what it means for you specifically. And I think this is a good one to give a go for everyone to say what they think. What does this mean? Because we can all relate.
I think it's great. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know if my Wi-Fi is going a bit weird, so if I'm lagging or anything, just let me know. But yeah, so yeah, people, what would it mean for each person to have that happen in their dream on a symbolic level?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. So just out of interest, though, we did get the 9 of Pentacles again, which is unique, and it's going to be unique to everybody. So yeah, I won't say anything though until we get, and maybe until we get a little bit of a feedback from Kathy if she's still on, or anyone else that wants to put something up. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Does anything come through?
There we go. Ah, yes, Kathy.
Good girl. She's got it.
And I'm forcing things.
Yeah. And it's really interesting. The cards that came up for you. Sorry, I am doing something weird here. Is the 5 of Pentacles. This is almost like you feel like you've been left out in the cold a little bit, not included, but something's going to change. And it will change. And then you've got your 9 of Cups. This is everything that you desire or want. So it is coming to you, but you have been pushing it a little bit hard. Maybe just relax, because I always say if someone jumps in front of me when I'm driving, or there's a pedestrian that's walking across at a shopping centre, I go, this is perfect, because this means I'm going to get the perfect car park. So I see it in a way where the timing, that divine timing, is everything. So so the bells and alarms can often, like, warning, it's okay, just hold back a little bit, because everything in this consciousness, in our beautiful connection, everything has to be timed. It's divinely timed, and so allowing it to sort of be the right timing is pretty important. That's what I'm getting. So well done, Kathy. Yeah. What did you get, Nick?
Well, the traffic lights are controlling, and they're forcing you to stop. You didn't want to stop. You just kept plowing through. So it's saying, is that the right thing to do? I feel like you were pushing against stuff. And it's a time when we need to sometimes sit back. And my partner says to me constantly, if someone's coming over, Nick, light, as in, don't give out, because I'm obviously a little bit different to a lot of people of how I think of things, and I just say them as they are now. And so he'll just remind me just to sometimes just go easy on them. Don't say anything. I know you want to, but I look at it this way: is LITE, light, meaning the light's coming in. The I is the way we're integrating everything, which sometimes when we integrate, we need to take the time and not force anything. Let it happen the way, at the space that's divinely guided. The T is transmuting things, and that takes a bit of patience, to allow it to take place. And finally, the embodiment. The E is the embodiment. And how does that feel in our bodies now, maybe compared to what it was before? What is it we're wanting to create here on this earth plane? So, I think we all force. We've all been forcing for so long, and I can't wait to step off that treadmill, really. I just go, yeah, I'm like with you, Marie. If someone wants to pull in front of me, go right ahead. I'm in no hurry anymore.
I know. And I love what Dennis said. I tried to put it up, but it wouldn't go up. So just said, the yellow said caution. You said no and went forward. You made your own choice. Don't second guess too much. So yeah, And it's right. It's just about choices, isn't it? So yeah, which is
Yeah.
beautiful. Guys, I'm actually going to close off here because I think my
Yep.
Wi-Fi is going a bit weird.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, thank you all for being on here. As always, you are very loved. And thank you, Nick. And thanks for sharing so much with us from everyone. And if you want to come on live, I think we've got Dave back live next week from the UK. So, but if you do want to come on live, let me know. Don't be shy. We don't bite too hard. Yeah, we'd love to see you on here. So,
yeah, good work.
All right, but
Thanks,
we'll say goodbye.
Marie.
Thank you. We'll see you all next week.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. Please bring your dreams for next week. We'll try